Hello smart investors, welcome to Real Estate Made Easy. This is where we educate you about real estate investment in order for you to avoid costly mistakes other people are making. Today we'll be discussing how to avoid being scammed when buying property in Nigeria. The number one mistake you must avoid is do not send money without a contract. Many Nigerians here and abroad have told their stories of how they have not had any money due to sending money either to their friends or relatives to build property for them. Let me tell you a story of twins who have lost hard money and of course relationship as a result of this simple mistake other people have been making. The twin brother happen to be in the diaspora while his other brother happen to be in Nigeria. The one in the diaspora has been sending money to the brother in Nigeria to build a property for him, while the one in Nigeria has been sending pictures of the building, each stage of development to his brother in diaspora. So the brother in diaspora believed that somebody somewhere in Nigeria who happened to be his dear brother has actually helped him to build his property. And during this stage, the brother has always been sending stages of development. We are doing the foundation stage now, we are doing the roofing, so his brother knew the developmental stage, including the address of where that building was. So he, to his own surprise, he wanted to give a surprise to his brother by visiting that site when he came to Nigeria without informing his brother, because he wanted to make it a surprise visit. Guess what? On getting to the building, he met his brother's wife at home, and that one of course was excited to welcome him and everybody was happy. Please thank your husband for me. He has done a wonderful job. In fact, look at this beautiful edifice he built for me. Even in my own absence, he helped me to build this place. So he was happy and very excited that his brother has done a very good job for him. The brother wife was like, what? This building? This is my husband's house. So this is my husband's house. My husband that owns this building. He built this place. And in fact, Oni. So he went inside to go and call husband who happened to be the twin brother to the brother who just arrived from the diaspora. When that one came, the story changed. And of course, that was when it was then revealed that the building all the way has been built in the name of the brother here in Nigeria. So the one in diaspora was just seeing pictures of the building, but his name was not on the building's document. His name was not anything associated to that building. That was why it was easy for the wife of the one in Nigeria to know that the building she is occupying is her husband's property and not the one in diaspora. You can imagine that. So if twins brothers could do that to themselves, how much more friends and relatives? This is one of the costly mistakes you must not make. Instead, to avoid these costly mistakes of ruining a relationship between you and your brother or even your family, why don't you engage the services of a private developer, a private entity entirely? What you need to do is to ensure that you do not send any money without a contract. What a pathetic story. So you can imagine if that could happen between siblings of the same father and mother, how much more people who are just friends. So this is a mistake I believe you do not want to make as well. So to avoid this costly mistake, do not send money without a contract. Even if the person is your relative, ensure you have a written agreement. This is how much I'm sending. This is what this at this stage of development, I hope my money will get to this. Okay, this you are sending this for the foundation. This is what foundation can cover. And on the document, you can see it there that sign and seal that your name is on it. Another way to even actually avoid this is, why don't you engage the service of private developers? These are people that are not your family, they are not your relatives. They are doing business with you. So, and if you are to engage them as well, ensure you do not give them money without a contract. In fact, it's better you ensure that they are also companies. So you are not sending to a private money, you are not sending money to a private account. Rather, you are sending every time you are sending to the company's account. And ensure that your lawyers draft a contract for you on your behalf, sign and seal and proofread everything to ensure that your interest is well protected. This way, you and the contractor, you and your developer can have a milestone agreement. Okay, for every 3 million, 5 million I send, this is the stage of development my building project should get to. Now that you have known, so as you are sending this money across, you know where your development will be. So once your lawyers helps you to draft the document, and of course the contractor, the private developer also reviews it together, both of you can then have a gentleman agreement. Okay, this is the milestone we are going to achieve based on this amount of money that I'm paying. If I pay 5 million naira, this is where the stage of development should be. If I pay 10 million naira, this is where the stage of, so you already have this agreement written and signed, and of course reviewed by your lawyer. So that gives you peace of mind. Whether you are in Nigeria or you are in diaspora, you can easily know that the money you are paying, is well utilized, and you can be rest assured that truly when you are coming to occupy your building, you can be welcomed, and you will not be told, hey, this does not belong to you, or somebody else is telling you another story. This story can be painful. So this is why you should not send any money without a contract. Whether you are engaging your family whom you have trusted very well, ensure there's a written contract, or you are engaging the service of a private individual, a private company, somebody who is so neutral to you, and ensure you do not send any money without a contract. And for every money you send, ensure you have a receipt to protect you as well. That is number one golden point you must not miss. Another costly mistake you must avoid is that do not buy a property because it's cheap. Do not buy any property because it's cheap. Being cheap is not enough reason for you to actually buy that property. Ensure that the property is not too below the normal price in the same neighborhood. For instance, now if somebody wants to buy a property, let's say in Lekki Phase 1, and you know that on a norm, a plot of land in Lekki Phase 1 goes for nothing less than 200 million naira and above, and somebody is giving an offer of 10 million naira, telling you that it's his father that owns it. In fact, he inherited it from his uncle, or his wife's brother dash him. So instead of 200 million naira, just pay 10 million naira, and of course you can be the owner. You should know that you are only giving that person money to eat pepper soup, or maybe to change his car, or for him to do a one touching or the other into the building is already occupying. That money will definitely not be for the house or the land you want to acquire, because you yourself know for sure that what you are paying for is not ideal for that kind of property in that neighborhood. So do not go for property because it's cheap. Ensure that the price you are paying for is relative to what is obtainable in that environment, whether you are buying land or you are buying property. However, being cheap also does not mean that that property is not genuine. Property can be a bit cheaper than what is obtainable in the market if, for instance, the developer is giving a promo, maybe just launched the estate, so he's still looking for people to actually subscribe so that he can have enough money to continue with the project in putting infrastructure in place. So at this initial stage, that is understandable. Oh, this company is just launching this offer. That promo does not stay too long. Maybe just for the first 5, 10, 15 people to subscribe, or so they have a quota by which they want to measure that once they reach the limit, they close that kind of offer. So that is an advantage that you may want to utilize, but it's not because it is cheap and price is so ridiculous. No, the price must not be ridiculous. The price can be cheap, but then ensure that it is not too cheap that that price is not obtainable in the market, except the company is doing a promo, maybe during the festive season. Yes, number of companies usually roll out a number of promo for people to take advantage of their product. That is understandable. In that case, what is obtainable in the normal market might be different from what you'll be getting because it is a promo. That is clearly different than somebody telling you that I have this property, I have this 10 plot of land, it's my father that gave it to me, it's my mother that gave it to me, and then you know that the price in that same neighborhood is far, far, far beyond what this person is giving you as an offer. Do not just fall for it. If you buy that kind of property without you even being careful enough, you may lose both your money as well as the property you have thought you have bought. So do not make that kind of costly mistake. Another mistake you must not make is that do not delay the payment of other fee, otherwise known as statutory fee. Do not delay your payment of statutory fee. Many developers have used that avenue to actually steal from people. Yes, I mean to defraud people of their hard-earned money. Because if you want to buy a property from a real estate company, for instance, many of them have what is known as FAQ, frequently asked questions. So ensure that you go through that contract and check, oh, what are you supposed to pay for? Normally, after paying for the land itself, there are other statutory fees you are supposed to pay, such as payment for documentation, payment for survey, payment for development. Developmental fee entails putting perimeter fencing, the out road and what have you, to ensure that please your property appreciates. Those are statutory fees you are supposed to pay. So if you do not pay for all of these things, and a company who is not really a developer but just bears the title of a developer, and he wants you to believe that they are developers and they are telling you that they are come and buy this property, and you refuse to, they know that they've included that in their contract and you did not even review it, so you did not even pay for it. And then they've also put it there that if you don't pay for this statutory fee, you will not be allocated. Now, because you did not pay for it, you will not be entitled to allocation when they are supposed to allocate to you. So that alone could be an escape for them not to give you allocation because you didn't pay for statutory fee. Don't say because you are in the purchase for land banking, that is why you are not going to pay for statutory fee, and so you are going to delay it. If you are doing that, you may actually be shooting yourself in the leg and you may not know, because if that company is not even ready to give you allocation in the first instance, and you yourself, you have not paid the statutory fee you are supposed to pay, then you will not know that the company is not even going to give you any allocation, because they've already tied it down that in the contract until you pay your statutory fee before you can be given allocation. So to solve that, ensure that once you are making your purchase, include the cost of statutory fee into the cost of the land. Do your estimate together. For instance, now if a property costs 4 million naira and other fees, that is the statutory fee inclusive of the survey, deed of assignment and documentation, there say 2 million naira, assume that you are making a purchase of 6 million naira for that property. So as you are offsetting the payment for land, do so by making the payment for what? Statutory fee as well, so that you can be eligible to be allocated. With that, within 3 months, ideally, you should be allocated your property. So if 3 months is becoming 6 months, 1 year, and you're not giving allocation, then you should start asking questions. What is happening? That is when you then know, oh, maybe there's one delay or the other, or even maybe the property is even under so many equibrances, and there are challenges the real estate developer is facing. That is why they cannot allocate to you, but they won't tell you because you are not even ready to be allocated. By the time you have done what you are supposed to do and you are not being allocated, then you can begin to ask questions. So do not make the mistake of delaying your statutory fee just because you are doing land banking. You pay what you are supposed to pay, and then let the company allocate to you when they have agreed to allocate to you. Without paying your statutory fee, you may be shooting yourself in the leg, and then you may not even get above the land as well as your money back, because if that company is not reputable to reallocate another asset of theirs, if there are issues with that property, the developer may travel, they may even leave the country, and you may not find them anywhere, and so your money as well as the property could be gone. I believe you don't want to be in that shoe. So when you are making your purchase, do the calculation together, pay for the land, pay for statutory fee. In that way, you'll be ensured that you are eligible to be allocated when you are supposed to be allocated. Another costly mistake you must not make is do not neglect due diligence. Do not neglect due diligence. Due diligence, I've said this over and over again, particularly in our previous videos. Please and please, you cannot take away the importance of due diligence if you are to make a right decision and the smart investment in real estate in Nigeria. Now, what are the due diligence you are supposed to do? If you are buying a property, for instance, it is your duty to ensure that that property you want to buy truly exists. That property has a title that the owner who wants to sell it to you claim it as. Ensure that that property is free from all form of encumbrance, maybe family disputes, maybe legal disputes. Ensure that all of these things are not hindering you. So be sure that the title on the property is valid. Ensure that the person who wants to sell it to you has a right to sell it. Ensure that that property is not a committed property. So until you do your due diligence, this is where you can then understand what is happening with the property you want to buy. It's not enough that you have the money. Yes, maybe it's just for you to pay. You can pay for a property and you may never see the property. You can pay for a property and you may never have possession of that property. So do not make the mistake of buying property without due diligence. Now that can help you verify as well as ascertain that you are making the right investment decision in your purchase. One, if you are buying a property, ensure you engage the service of what? Structural engineer to help you check whether there are structural defects, so that you don't have to be paying huge amount of money renovating the property here and there, correcting one defect or the other. Also ensure that the title of that document, you engage the service of a lawyer to help you check and verify that that property has the right title. Also, you may also engage the service of a surveyor to help you check that the survey plan of that property is the one that they have given to you by taking the coordinate of that site and then corresponding with the one given to you. check a surveyor general office and ensure that your records as far as the survey of that property is intact, because your survey plan is what can also prove ownership to you that this XYZ from this to this belongs to you. So you need to engage the service of a surveyor who can help you know that, so that we don't fall victim to those who fly coordinates. Imagine you are buying property in Pretoria land and somebody is giving you a survey plan of the one in Ikoyi by flying the coordinate, and you, because you do not even know the difference, and you may be thinking you are making the right purchase. Lastly, do not neglect your paperwork. If you have bought that property, the property is now yours, it's not enough. Ensure that everything that has to prove your ownership on that property, you have done that. Ensure that you have the receipt of the payment you have made. Ensure you have the contract of sale duly signed and executed. Ensure your deed of assignment to transfer ownership between whoever is selling the property to you, be it a private developer or be it a family, that is your money. Ensure you have that. Then ensure that you then lodge your survey. Deed of assignment is also registered, so that later in future, if there are discrepancies, if there are issues regarding your property, whether the land you have bought or the building you have bought, you will have proof of ownership that this truly belongs to you and you have done the needful when you were making the purchase. Also, part of the paperwork you must not neglect also, if you are buying a property, is to ensure that do you have your building permits. So it's not enough that you have the money to build, but do you have the right to build that kind of structure in that same place? So government has a master plan. What you want to build is suitable for that location. Ensure that your paperwork, everything on that property that can link the property to you, is well documented. Your receipt for that property you have bought, ensure you have it. Many people don't even know where the receipt of the property they've acquired 10-15 years ago. They don't know where it is. So you don't want to be in that shoe. Ensure that you have your receipt well protected. Ensure that you have a contract of sales, your deed of assignment, all of this well vetted by your lawyer to ensure that the terms and conditions, everything are well spent and they are in your favor and not against you. So that it will not be when there are now issues in future and you cannot even know why this is your property, you cannot even find the documents that can prove ownership that that property truly belongs to you. So make sure you have this document intact and always keep them in a safe custody. Either you lodge it with your lawyer or you lodge it to somebody that you can trust. It's important that your documentation, you do that correctly. It's not enough that you bought a property and you do not have any documentation that can link it to you. Ensure you do your paperwork. Ensure that yes, you have protected your purchase, you have made the right investment decision. Come to the end of today's episode, and I hope you've learned one thing or the other to better improve your real estate investment knowledge. If you have enjoyed what you have listened to, please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Also give us a like and also share it with your loved ones, so that they can also get access to this valuable information that can help them make investments with peace of mind. Real estate investment does not have to be difficult. That is why this channel is Real Estate Made Easy. You want to simplify the process of acquiring genuine property, whether you want to buy it, whether you want to sell, you can do that with peace of mind. So ensure that you share this information to those that can also maximize this opportunity so that they can be better informed